extensive damage and intimidating clouds across our area. You're looking at some of the pictures sent in by our viewers that help show the situation on the ground and keep everybody safe. The weather is still pretty active, but nothing like the hail, strong winds, and rain, and even tornado activity we saw earlier this evening. You're watching Wave News at 11. I'm Marissa Burke. It's still an alert day for a few more minutes, so we're going to go to Jessica Dobson with a look at conditions right now. Jess?
Yeah, we still do have a couple of warnings underway across a few of our Wave Country counties, and it's going to be mainly for the potential of just some very strong wind gusts that are continuing to work along and south of the parkways. Louisville, the metro, we are in the clear right now, which is good news. So if you're trying to head to bed, if you're wondering if you can, now is the time to do that. We're going to be in good shape. But near Litchfield and Grayson County, we still have that severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be, that was until 11 o'clock. Looks like we have another new one that was issued for the southern part of the county as well. So Litchfield, you're probably seeing and hearing a lot of thunder, lightning. It is going to be a loud night. So far, the main impacts will include those strong damaging wind gusts, but also some of the small hail that we could expect to move into the region as well. So we do have this new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Green, Hart, LaRue, and Marion County. That will be ongoing until about 10:30 Central Time. Something to keep in mind. Eastern Time, that's going to mean 11:30, of course. So that will impact places like Stiles, Raywick, even towards parts of Ward. So it's going to be a bit of a busy night still for areas south of the parkways. But again, the metro, we are almost completely dry. Thank goodness. Just a couple of showers, mainly to our east at this point and near Fishersville. And it really has moved out pretty quickly, in all honesty. We're drying things out in Jefferson County, and that trend will continue. But boy, have we seen some very large hail. This was taken in Madison, Indiana. Some of the larger hail reports we've seen. Southern Indiana, you guys saw a lot of hail. We'll talk more on some of those reports. I'll go over power outages as well, along with the forecast. That's also important for this upcoming week. That's all coming up in a few minutes.
There was storm damage all across our viewing area, including one of the most iconic structures in southern Indiana. The famous atrium at the West Baden Springs Hotel was heavily damaged by all the hail. Brandon Spencer is live there now with what happens next. Brandon?
Yeah, Marissa, there were some very scary moments here at this West Baden Springs Hotel, as just after 5 p.m., security says that softball-sized hail pelted off and into this world-famous atrium. Now, to put things into perspective, this West Baden Springs Hotel is a U.S. national landmark, and advertisers call it the 8th wonder of the world. The building opened in 1902, and for the first decade, it was the largest dome in the world and the largest in North America until 1955. And the power of Mother Nature has placed multiple holes in this atrium roof, and for now, the atrium is closed off indefinitely. The hotel staff tells me safety protocols went into place when the hail started, and guests were evacuated to the basement, and no one has been reported hurt. Now, we have been looking for guests to talk to, but it seems they're all in their rooms for the evening, as the hotel is still open and will remain open. But for this world-famous atrium, however, it will remain closed indefinitely. For now, reporting live, Brandon Spencer, Wave News.
Thanks, Brandon. The strong winds and heavy rain also tore down a couple of trees. One tree fell on a house in Shepherdsville, but firefighters say that they didn't find anyone inside. This is another tree that was snapped out of the ground out by PRP. This home is on Windsor Forest Drive near 3rd Street Road. We don't believe that anyone was injured by that tree. We talked to some of the people who were there. Here's another tree down in Smoketown. There were also a number of utility crews in Jefferson and Floyd counties out fixing power lines that had been snapped. Looking at LG&E's outage map, you can see that there are more than 38,000 households without power across the Louisville metro area right now. Their crews are out working to get the lights back on as soon as possible. JCPS had to adjust some of their events because of the heavy weather. Around 10 o'clock, they confirmed that they will have to cancel all their backpack league and literacy and programs that were scheduled for tomorrow. They've been canceled. A man who was shot in the Southland Park neighborhood last night died from his injuries. Now, 2 minors have been arrested in connection to his death. That shooting happened just after 9 on Strawberry Lane, close to Iroquois Park. First responders took the victim to the hospital but couldn't save him. This afternoon, LMPD says a 13-year-old girl turned herself in. They charge her with negligent homicide. Police also arrested a 15-year-old boy and charged him with tampering with evidence and possession of a handgun by a minor. The Jefferson County coroner has identified the man shot dead in Wilder Park last week. The call for that shooting came in around 10 o'clock the night of June 17th from South 3rd Street. Officers found the victim there. He died in the hospital. The coroner identified him as 51-year-old Charles Evan Jr. 43-year-old Delaney Nolan was charged for that murder. Police say he got into an argument with Evan before shooting him. Nolan also faces a charge of tampering with evidence. A woman is dead after a motorcycle crash on River Road last night. Police say it happened around 11:30 on River Road and Dockview Drive, close to Waterfront Park. Investigators believe a car was heading east on River Road when it slowed down to turn into an apartment complex. They say a motorcyclist rear-ended the car. She died at the scene. The driver of the car was not hurt. Investigators are still looking into it. A man is behind bars for a shooting in Scottsville last year, but the family of the victim think police might have the wrong man. They arrested Ryan Slaughter for the murder of 63-year-old Regina Ray. The Ray family says Slaughter was their friend. They say the day Regina died, Slaughter paid their rent and gave them food and other gifts. While he has prior offenses, none of them were violent.
I would like to know what really happened that night, who really done it, if it is Ryan, then why haven't they, why isn't he convicted? I need closure.
Police did find a backpack belonging to Slaughter close to the crime scene. It had a gun inside that matched the bullets that killed Regina Ray. His pretrial conference is Tuesday. Street racing has taken over the interstates, parks, and roads across Louisville. And in response, the city has placed rumble strips in Cox Park in an attempt to prevent it. But some boaters and park goers say they're not happy with the change. The strips were put into place after LMPD contacted Metro Parks and Metro Council for help to prevent street racing and dangerous driving at Cox Park. District 16 Metro Councilman Scott Reed led the charge working with Metro Parks to find a solution. And that's how these rumble strips came to be. Reed says he understands the concerns people have, but complaints about street racing activity at Cox Park have been coming in for years now. So he felt action needed to be taken.
We don't want cars running into each other. We don't want a speeding car or a car doing a burnout to hit a boat. And we felt like that it was sort of a critical mass and we had to try something. So are you going to please everybody? I don't think so. But to me, this is something that's worth trying and something worth moving forward with.
Some people say they wish Metro government spoke to them prior to putting the rumble strips in and feel they're being punished for others' actions. But Reed says they did listen to the people and feels they came up with the best solution. And for the immediate future, the rumble strips are here to stay. People often say laughter is the best medicine. Today, a local organization took that saying literally to try to remove the stigma surrounding mental health.
What do you get when you put mental health professionals and comedians together? Pain medicine. Community connections combine the unlikely duo to get others to laugh at their pain. The point, getting help for mental illness isn't a sign of weakness, it's strength.
I think mental health does not get enough attention. If we can address some of the mental health issues in our community, we can fix some of the other problems.
Connecting people with mental health resources and normalizing discussions are just parts of their solution. There's a stigma surrounding mental health treatment, especially in Black communities. Events like this remind people mental health does not discriminate.
Mental health is colorless.
Absolutely.
Every single community needs to be addressing mental health because it's everywhere, and it has been throughout time. So at some point, we have to start addressing it and make it that it's not a bad word.
Raising awareness about mental health treatment is a priority in Mayor Greenberg's administration. Community Connections honored Mayor Greenberg for his dedication to making Louisville a stronger, healthier, and safer city.
The government cannot do it alone. Yes, there's a lot that we can do to make our city safer. There's a lot we can do to build more parks, to make them more accessible and better quality for everyone in neighborhoods across our whole city. But if we're going to truly address all of our biggest challenges, like public safety, like helping people that are in need when they have mental health challenges, we have to work together. Community Connections hopes if each person does a little work, the city of Louisville will see a big difference.
Accessibility to mental health resources is being prioritized more now than before. In the newly passed Metro Council budget, more money is going to the deflection program. So when someone calls 911 and the issue is nonviolent and more of a mental health crisis, that person will be connected with a mental health professional who can help. Germantown celebrated the birthday of the late great celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain. You could find the 3rd annual Taste for Life celebration on Spratt Street outside of Fourpex. The event featured 20 chefs, all offering samples of unique dishes, and it's meant to raise money for people who struggle with mental health and depression, which Anthony had.
When Anthony Bourdain tragically took his own life, it really made me and a couple other chefs look at each other and talking about how we don't really talk about how we have issues, how we're always working hard and away from our families, and it leads to substance abuse and different kinds of addictions and things like that. So we wanted to open up a conversation to let everybody know it's okay to not be okay.
The event benefits the Peak Foundation and NAMI Louisville. Coming up on Wave News at 11, a promising young athlete who fell victim to gun violence. We'll have the way Lexington is honoring her. And we'll have what some top Kentucky politicians and activist groups are doing to codify a woman's right to an abortion at 1 year after the federal protection was stripped away. And don't forget, if you want weather 24/7, tune in to Wave Weather Now, our new digital weather stream. You can find it here on wave3.com, the Wave 3 app on your phone, as well as your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. Just go to Watch Live and look for Wave Weather Now.